Folks, we'll get started in just another minute or so. I'm sure some people are drying off in the restroom, so we'll give them a minute to get in here, but we'll get rolling in a minute. Seemed like a natural silence, so we'll get going. People are in and settled. Thank you and welcome to the Class of 2026 Scholarship Night. This is a truly special night and one that will positively impact so many members of this class. This event would not be possible without the coordination and planning of Ms. Abby Barlas, Ms. Ann Murray, and the entire counseling department. Thank you for all the time and effort in organizing tonight's event. Tonight is a shining example of the generosity of the greater Canton community. We will hear so many powerful sentiments from our presenters tonight, and we're fortunate to have their continued support for our students. A huge thank you and round of applause to the presenters and scholarship contributors. Thank you. And now the reason we're here, the impressive students of the Class of 2026. You have earned every bit of recognition you will receive tonight, which is a continuation of what I refer to as senior season. We began our celebratory events with Scholastic Honors Night last week, and the festivities continue with next week's senior prom, the senior banquet, athletic awards ceremony, and of course, graduation. What a time to be a Bulldog. But before the presentations begin tonight, I want to encourage you to take a breath and appreciate the outpouring of support and generosity all around you. I often begin my messages to students and families by addressing you as the Canton High School community, and tonight is a perfect example of what that title means. This gathering is the epitome of community and one I am proud to be a part of. So congratulations to all the recipients and their families, and another heartfelt thank you to the donors. It is now my pleasure to welcome Superintendent Folan to the podium for his remarks. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to all of our community members. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and thank you for taking part. Thank you, Mr. Sperling, Ms. Barlas, Ms. Murray, Chair McCourt. Welcome to all of our students and families, staff, and administration who are in attendance. Welcome, School Committee Chair, as I said, Ms. McCourt is here representing the full school committee, and a warm welcome to all of our community members who are presenting scholarships tonight. Tonight is one of the special celebrations that's unique to Canton. It's obviously a night where thousands of dollars of scholarships, and the number has just been updated and you're not going to believe how generous our community is. So all of these dollars and scholarships will be awarded, and they mean so, so much. It's a beautiful night to honor family members, sharing stories, and paying it forward. For me, it's a night that exemplifies our core values, and it truly brings joy. Tonight is about community, celebrating the long-standing relationships and building new ones. It's about investing in our students, our incredible students, and helping them achieve personal and academic excellence. Tonight is about being one strong school, a community for every student. It's a true partnership between Canton and the Canton Public Schools. We are so thankful to all of our donors. We are so thankful to the families and staff who taught and raised such wonderful young adults who are ready to use these scholarships to elevate themselves and unlock opportunities. It's just phenomenal, and we are so very proud of you. Congratulations, everyone. Let's have a great evening. A round of applause for our students. It's now my pleasure to invite the school committee chair, Ms. Kim McCourt.
Good evening, students, families, faculty, and guests. I want to begin by saying that this is one of my favorite events to attend as a school committee member. Hearing the stories behind tonight's scholarships is deeply inspiring, and the impact on our community is profound. Tonight is a celebration of potential, but more importantly, it's a celebration of community. To look around this room is to see a powerful network of support, belief, and generosity invested entirely in the future of our students. To our donors, the families and the loved ones present tonight, thank you. Many of the scholarships awarded this evening carry names of individuals who left their mark on our community. By turning your love, your memories, and your family legacies into opportunity for these students, you are ensuring that their impact continues to grow. We honor those legacies tonight, and we are profoundly grateful for the decision to lift up the next generation in their memory. To the local business leaders and corporate partners here with us, thank you for your vital investments. Your generosity provides more than just financial aid. It provides a bridge to opportunity. By investing in these students, you are investing in the future workforce, the future innovators, and the future leaders of our community. You remind us that a thriving community is one that supports its own. And finally, to our student recipients, congratulations. You earned your place here tonight through hard work, focus, and determination. But as you receive these awards, remember that this financial support is a gift of trust. Appreciate the doors this money will open for you. Never forget where it came from or the community that stood behind you to help you take your next steps. Carry the generosity you received tonight with you always, and when the time comes, remember to pay it forward. Thank you, and congratulations to you all.
I'd now like to welcome our Director of Counseling, Ms. Abby Barlas, to give her remarks, and she will also serve as the MC for the night.
Good evening, seniors, families, community members, Superintendent Folan, School Committee Chair Kim McCourt, Principal Sperling, and Assistant Principals Mr. Small and Dr. Fitzgerald. Welcome to Canton High School's 2026 Senior Scholarship Night. First, I'd like to take a minute to recognize Mrs. Ann Murray. She's not only our administrative assistant in the school counseling office, but she takes the lead on organizing tonight's events. Please join me in recognizing all of the hard work that Mrs. Murray put into tonight. On this very special night, we are given the opportunity to celebrate the connection between the amazing students in our school and the incredible community organizations that give back to our school and students by providing part-time employment, volunteer opportunities, internships, and more. This year, we are pleased and grateful to share that our Canton community is generously donating $251,000 to fund the hopes and dreams of our graduating seniors. This culminating event recognizes students for their character, academic achievement, resilience, commitment to their passions, and service to our community. Seniors, as you prepare for graduation and beyond, remember that you have the power to shape your future. Collectively, you have already demonstrated that you have the skills to be successful and stand out in a crowd. As you open this next chapter, I encourage you to always remember to be curious, follow your passion, and never give up. Your story is just beginning. Before we begin tonight, I want to take a minute to review the format of this evening. Seniors, you will be called in groups to the side of the stage at the base of the stairs to your right. When your name is called, you will walk across the stage to get your award and then exit on the curtain on the other side. For our scholarship presenters, we'll call you up in groups, and I would also ask that if a scholarship has multiple winners, if we could please wait until all names have been announced before applauding. So without further ado, I'd like to call our first group of students to the side of the stage. Jillian Grady, Nicholas Crow, Miranda Grady, Nora Giannakopoulos, Jake Marcel, Alyssa Hanlon, Justin Lesser, Haley Roberts, Avery Lebowitz, Isabella Corporon, Allison Lynn, Joseph O'Sullivan, Liam Connolly, Teddy Schumann, Olivia McCabe, and Macy Greatzer. I'd like to ask our first presenter, Sherry Herzog, to come to present the Bud Herzog Theater Arts Scholarship.
The Bud Herzog Theater Arts Scholarship was established after the sudden death of my husband on Mother's Day in 1995. This is the 31st anniversary of Bud's death and my 31st scholarship. Bud always had a love for theater. He was the lead in his junior high school production of The Mikado and his high school play, The Imaginary Invalid. In college, he began directing plays. His favorite was The Zoo Story by Edward Albee. Many years ago, the children and I were very surprised to receive a letter from an attorney in Baltimore. He was curious one day and Googled Bud's name. Those was the days of Googling. He found the Bud Herzog Theater Arts Fund website. He was one of two characters who starred in Bud's production of The Zoo Story. The production was in 1967. These are his words. We practiced at Bud's fraternity house on Charles Street. Bud was an extremely generous, thoughtful, and passionate director. I was a high school student whom Bud was nevertheless willing and generous enough to work with, despite his being older and busy with his junior year in college. I benefited from Bud's love for theater. I was the forerunner of the high school students today who currently benefit through the fund that you created in his memory. Canton High School Theater has always meant a lot to our family. Bud and I proudly watched our two children, Ari and Jordana, perform their 4 years here. Tonight, I am so happy and a little emotional to present this scholarship to two students who demonstrate the same love for music and theater as Bud. They have also shared with me throughout their many years of preschool music, my Camp Broadway, and piano lessons. I am honored to present the Bud Herzog Theater Arts Scholarship to Miranda Grady and Jillian Grady.
Our next scholarship, the Friends of Doc Leveralt Scholarship, is presented by Liz Gabbard and Mary Leveralt.
Good evening. This scholarship is being presented by the Friends of Doc Leveralt in honor of my father, Richard Leveralt, a physician in this community for over 30 years. I can remember graduating on the front lawn of this school 35 years ago and my father meeting me on stage with my diploma. No need to do the math, I'm kind of old. He had been a member of the school committee and board of health, which allowed him the honor, and it's a cherished memory. My father was a giving man to his family, his friends, his community, and his patients. He was the type of doctor every patient hopes for: steady, compassionate, and deeply present. We were able to practice medicine together for several years, which was extremely rewarding. In that time, he didn't just teach me medicine and processes, he taught me how to truly treat patients with dignity, patience, and heart. When he left his practice after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, he sent his patients a final note that included a quote from Maya Angelou, a reflection of the grace and wisdom he carried into every exam room. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. As you start your adult life, I think it's a great mantra to live by. Congratulations to all of you, especially Nora Giannakopoulos, Nicholas Crow, and Jake Marcel, who are deserving recipients of the scholarship.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite Melissa Cabino to present the Shane M. Cabino Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and the class of 2026. My name is Melissa Cabino Chapanis. We are here tonight to award two $1,000 scholarships to Canton High School 2026 graduates in the name of my brother, Lance Corporal Shane Cabino. Shane was a 2004 graduate of Canton High School. Shane enlisted in the Marines and left for boot camp shortly after graduation. On October 6, 2005, Shane was killed while conducting combat operations near Al-Qama, Iraq. In establishing this scholarship, Shane's family and friends hope to keep his memory alive. It is our hope to give back to the graduates of Canton High School and the community that supported us during such a difficult time. The following 2026 Canton High School graduates have been selected: Justin Lesser and Alyssa Hanlon.
At this time, I'd like to invite Beth DeLoggy and David Winthrop to present the Jeanette Winthrop Scholarship.
This year's recipient of the Jeanette Winthrop Scholarship is described as someone who is very busy. She has juggled academics, sports, volunteering, philanthropy, working, and a social life all through her years at Canton High School. She always knew she wanted to be a teacher. As a young girl, she would line up her stuffed animals and play school. This reminds me of someone I know very well, myself. Our childhood basement was set up like a classroom, chalkboard and all. Our mother's passion for being a teacher overflowed into our lives, and that was a wonderful gift. Teaching is in our blood. Jeanette's life was full of teachers. Her brother was a teacher. Her best friends were teachers. She even married a teacher. And two of her many grandchildren are teachers. And I quote, "Teachers help students grow academically, socially, and personally, leaving them ready not just for school, but also for life beyond the classroom in the real world." This future teacher said that, and it couldn't be more true. Haley Roberts, you are this year's recipient of the Jeanette Winthrop Scholarship. I learned a lot about you from your essay, transcript, and letter of recommendation. Now I want to share something about our mother with you. You're in the parking lot. We parked next to you. We parked next to you. I knew it was you. We lived at 40 Coach Road. And my mother's friend and hairdresser lived right next door in the house you grew up in. She used to get her hair cut in the basement hair salon, and my siblings and I played for hours in your backyard in the 60s and 70s. Haley, it truly is a small world. Thank you for applying, and we know our mother, Jeanette Winthrop, would be very proud to know there are future teachers like you, and more importantly, she would absolutely love the fact that you live in her friend's house.
And now presenting the Alan B. Dewey Senior Scholarship, Jared Dewey and Alyssa McHugh.
My daughter Annabelle has presented for the past 3 years. She is unfortunately unable to make it tonight. However, she has prepared a speech for me to read for her. Good evening, parents, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the Canton High School class of 2026. Although I unfortunately cannot be here tonight to speak with you as I am attending my own senior night for track and field, I just wanted to congratulate you all on your achievements. Being a senior myself, I know the anticipation and the anxiety we all might be feeling going into this next chapter of our lives. I wish you all the best of luck wherever your next adventure takes you. It's a true honor for me to present a scholarship that means so much to me personally, not just because of what it supports, but who it honors. My pa, Alan Dewey, worked in education, and he finished his career here in Canton as the assistant superintendent of the district. He devoted his time here at Canton Public Schools to giving all kids the gift of education and providing them with a chance to learn and grow. Following his retirement, he focused his life on giving back to his community and his family, especially giving me endless knowledge, love, and lessons. He taught me everything, such as how to maintain a garden, the deep history of Boston, and even all the words to the Beach Boys discography. Growing up with him was like having my own personal dictionary and fact book, always knowing everything. Unfortunately, before high school even started, I lost one of my biggest mentors and most inspirational people in my life. On January 28th, 2022, I woke up to the worst news possible, that my pa had suddenly passed away. His loss left a hole in my family as I no longer had my pa, my dad no longer had his dad, and my ma no longer had the love of her life. I've unfortunately had to go my entire high school career not being with him and him not seeing my academic accomplishments, college acceptances, my final soccer games, and not being at my graduation. But I still carry him with me through every single one of them. Since his passing, he's unknowingly and inadvertently taught me some of the most important lessons I've had to learn. And knowing him, he'd want me to share my knowledge with everyone. So I urge all of you to never take anything for granted. Be kind to everyone that you know and don't know. Always say I love you and live in every single moment, because tomorrow is not promised, and you may never know the value of a moment until it has suddenly passed you by, because unfortunately, that's how life humbles you. This scholarship in his name is a continuation of the spirit he brought to me, my family, his friends, and everyone who knew him. It's meant to support a student who carries his same light, someone curious, passionate, and ready to keep learning. Not just for their own future, but for the chance to share their knowledge with others, because that's exactly what my pa would have wanted. To share a few more facts, change a few more souls, and learn a little more. So to this year's recipient, I hope this scholarship reminds you that your passion, curiosity, and dreams matter, and that someone, even someone you've never met, is rooting for you. My pa believed deeply in the power of education to change lives. And by receiving this scholarship, you become part of that legacy. I hope my pa's love for education and learning can live on in the work that you do, the people you help, and the knowledge that you pass on. Congratulations, Avery Lebowitz.
Our next presenter is Tom Hanold, presenting the First Parish Unitarian Universalist Church Scholarship.
My name is Tom Hanold, and I'm here as a member of the congregation at First Parish Unitarian Universalist in Canton, the church with the yellow doors on Washington Street, right between the police station and the cemetery. And somewhere out there is our lead minister, the Reverend Dr. Michelle Walsh. I don't know if anybody can see her in the dark, but she's here as well. For the past several years, members of the congregation at First Parish have contributed to a scholarship for graduating seniors who will pursue the performing arts in college, especially music and theater. The arts are important. These are disciplines that draw us into new dimensions of understanding, into places where our own words cannot enter. Or as Bruce Springsteen said, these arts provide you something to face the world with. This year, we are happy to award a scholarship of $1,300 to a student who will be pursuing theater at Northeastern University, Miranda Grady. Congratulations, Miranda.
I'd like to invite the Connors family to present the Joanna Allison Connors Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and the class of 2026. We truly appreciate a little time to remember our daughter with great love. She was only 3 years and 10 days old when she died from an unknown virus, but we love to remember her. And of course, she was beautiful and brilliant. But one of the things that she did is that she had perseverance. If she wanted a particular stuffy, she would roll one way and then the other way and then back the first way, until she was able to roll to the place where she could get the little stuffed animals she wanted. Later, when she wanted to accomplish anything, she would take the time and figure out a way to do it. So we wanted to particularly show people who have overcome odds and adversity, and those are the people that we would like to particularly appreciate tonight. But we, of course, congratulate the whole class of 2026.
I'm Jeff Rasun. We are fortunate that this is the 44th time we've been able to give scholarships in my sister's memory. And when we went through our tough time, it was really the community that helped get us through. In fact, in this first batch of presenters, and part of our community was Sherry and Bud Herzog, and boy, could that guy dress, and he had a good sense of humor. Dr. Leveralt was my physician as a young adult, and Mrs. Winthrop was my first grade teacher way back in the day. So, some things don't change. But we are thrilled to select 3 recipients that we think will continue to persevere, will follow the golden rule, just treat people like they want to be treated, and hopefully live life the right way and give back themselves in whatever way they possibly can. Please join me in congratulating Isabella Corcoran, Allison Lynn, and Joseph O'Sullivan.
Our next award is the Joseph F. Donnelly Memorial Scholarship, presented by the Donnelly family.
Good evening. I am Joanna D'Agostino, Joe Donnelly's daughter. I'm joined by my mother, Janet Donnelly, and two of my kids, Catherine and Carly, who are two of Pop's beloved grandchildren, and they are actually going to be giving the award.
Our grandfather, Joe Donnelly, or Pop as we called him, dedicated many years to the Canton hockey community. Many of you probably remember hearing his voice on the Canton cable as the play-by-play announcer for Canton High School's boys and girls hockey games, but his impact on the sport in this community reached far beyond the microphone. He coached youth teams, served as president of the Canton Youth Hockey, and even after retirement, he returned to the rink to work at the Canton Ice House, simply because it was where he felt most at home. Hockey wasn't just something he enjoyed, it was woven into who he was. What Pop made truly special, though, wasn't only his love for the game. It was the way he connected with people. He cared deeply about the players he met over the years, not just the athletes, but the young people growing into themselves. He celebrated their success, encouraged them through challenges, and always made time for a conversation, a laugh, or a word of support.
8.5 years ago, our family and the hockey community experienced a heartbreaking loss when Pop passed away suddenly at the rink, the place that meant so much to him. While his absence is still deeply felt, so is the example he set through the kindness, generosity, and spirit he brought to everyone around him. To honor that legacy, our family created the Joe Donnelly Scholarship. This award reflects the values that mattered most to him. Of course, he admired hard work and talent on the ice, but he believed character mattered more, treating others with respect, leading with humility, and being the kind of teammate and person others could count on. Each year, we are proud to honor student athletes who embody the character, humility, and leadership that this scholarship was created to celebrate. It is our pleasure to award this year's Joe Donnelly Scholarship to Teddy Schumann and Liam Connolly.
I'd like to invite Sarah Joyce and family to present the Rob Willie Memorial Scholarship.
Hi, everyone. My name's Sarah Joyce Willie, and I'm here this evening with my daughters, Hannah Willie and Amelia Willie. And we're so honored to present the first ever Rob Willie Memorial Scholarship in memory of my husband who passed away last September. The scholarship was created to recognize a student who has shown resilience, strength, and a commitment to moving forward despite challenges. Rob and I both grew up in Canton. We graduated from Canton High School, go class in '94. It's been a hot minute since I've been on this stage. And it means so much to us to be able to come back here and support students in the community in his name. Our family created the scholarship to honor the kind of person Rob was, someone who showed up for others, believed in people, and always wanted to help those around him succeed. Tonight, I think we might have messed up the format a little bit, but tonight we're presenting 2 awards, and my daughters are each going to present one. Hannah will go first.
Olivia McCabe, your perseverance and resilience truly stood out to us. You embody the spirit of this award, and we are so proud to support you as you take your next steps. My dad believed deeply in helping others and lifting people up, and it means so much to our family to be able to honor him in this way and live. Because you knew my dad, it makes it especially meaningful for you to be our very first scholarship award recipient. I know my dad would be so proud of you. Congratulations. We wish you all the best in everything ahead. Macy Greatser, your story, your strength, and your determination truly stood out to us. You represent what this scholarship was meant to honor. It means so much to our family to be able to recognize someone like you in my dad's name. Congratulations, we are so proud to recognize you tonight and wish you all the best in everything ahead.
At this time, I'd like to thank the first round of presenters for this evening, and we'll prepare to call up our second group of presenters. If I can have the representatives of the following scholarships please come to the stage. Friends of Beth Art Scholarship, Scott M. Herr Memorial Fund Scholarship, the Rice Fielder Scholarship, Canton Garden Club Scholarship, C.F. McCarthy's Student Athlete of Distinction Scholarship, Elizabeth M. Deoso Memorial Scholarship, Robert Dieso Memorial Scholarship, the Anthony Maffey Memorial Scholarship, and the Eddie Clifford Memorial Scholarship. While our presenters are changing, students, I'm going to have you listen for your name, and if you're in this next group, if you can come to the right side of the stage. Peter Heredia, Liam Connolly, Shannon Dervin, Megan Donovan, Will Doucette, Andrew Gillis, Deanna Kolakethis, Joseph Ryan, Teddy Schumann, Matthew Wright, Shane Kelleher, Nicholas Cooley, Alexa Piazza, Sadie Gugliotta, Charlotte Powers, Allison Lynn, Sunny Cherry, Cassidy Macwell, Kaylin Souza, Madeline Driscoll, Rose Isaac, LaRon Slotnick. Okay, I am going to invite the Can Spence family to present the Friends of Beth Art Scholarship.
Welcome, graduates, families, and congratulations to you all. My name is Patty Willis, and I am here on behalf of my family and the Friends of Beth Committee to award the Art Scholarship to Canton High School students furthering their education in the field of art. I have my mother with me and one of my sister Beth's daughters. Beth was a graduate of Canton High School in 1981. She then went to the Art Institute of Boston and became a graphic designer. She later left work to focus on her greatest artwork she ever made, which were her 3 daughters. She always continued her love for art, whether it was wall textures, painting furniture, wall murals, or tiny pictures on fingernails. She never lost her love for art. Unfortunately, we lost Beth in 2007 to domestic violence. Since then, we have tried to keep her love for art alive by helping to send others to follow their dreams. In the past 17 years, we have given over 30 $1,000 scholarships in her honor. And tonight, I would like to present one this year to a former second grade student of mine, Peter Heredia.
I'd like to invite the Herr family up to present the Scott M. Herr Memorial Foundation Scholarship and the Canton Little League Scott Herr Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2026. I'm joined up here with my wife, Linda, and my son, Joey. The Scott M. Herr Memorial Foundation was established in memory of our son, Scott, who passed away on an icy highway in upstate New York in January of 2010, approximately 6 months after he graduated from Canton High School. Scott loved his time here at the high school. He did quite well in athletics. He was a member of the varsity hockey team, the varsity baseball team, and he also played 3 years of soccer, but he passed on his senior year to focus his energy on preparing for college. He also did quite well in academics, honor roll, National Honor Society in high school, Dean's List, and the highest grade point average of his freshman engineering class at Northeastern University in his first and only semester at the school. But achievements in athletics and academics is not what Scott is remembered for. In July of 2009, shortly after Scott graduated from high school, the Canton Citizen had a front page story on Scott. The headlines read, "Inaugural Paul Matthews Senior Cup goes to Canton High School graduate Scott Herr." In the article, it stated that the Senior Cup award recognizes excellence in scholarship, sportsmanship, and service to the community. It is awarded to the student that epitomizes and exemplifies the spirit of Canton High School. His varsity hockey coach, Brian Schumann, is quoted in that article. "I think he's a perfect choice for the award. He excels at everything he does. He excels on the field, on the ice, in the classroom, and in the community. Everything Scott does, he does well, and does it to the best of his ability. I can't say enough about how great of a kid he is. He always treats people well, and I think in life, that's the most important thing you can be judged by." The last quote of the article is Scott's. Scott says, "I think it's good to be well-rounded. Sure, it's great to get straight A's, but it's better to have a bigger piece of the puzzle." Scott had a positive impact on the many people he met in his brief 18 years of life. Through his foundation's support for this high school's Performance Center and the Fitness Center, both named in Scott's honor, as well as this annual scholarship program, we strive to continue that positive impact started by Scott for the benefit of all the students at Canton High School. This year, we'll be handing out 9 scholarships of $1,000 each to students who best embrace the bigger piece of the puzzle. This year's award winners are Liam Conley, Shannon Durbin, Matt Wright, Andrew Gillis, Deanna Colothis, Joey Ryan, Will Doucette, Megan Donovan, and Teddy Schumann.
Again, nice to see you.
Good to see you. Congratulations. As mentioned, we have one more scholarship to award. We are very grateful to Canton Little League for naming one of their annual Memorial Scholarship in honor of Scott. Like a lot of kids in Canton, Scott played Canton Little League from T-ball to senior Babe Ruth. He was also an umpire for several seasons for the younger kids. And his Babe Ruth team won the state nationals and went down to New Jersey to compete for a national title. This year, Scott M. Herr Canton Little League Scholarship is awarded to Shane Kelleher.
I'd like to invite Britta Reisfelder to present the Reisfelder Group Scholarship.
Good evening. Congratulations, class of 2026. My name is Britta Reisfelder, and I'm a realtor and someone that lives in Canton. I'm incredibly proud to celebrate this special moment with all of you today. This community helped shape who I am, supporting my family, my children, and my business. That is why giving back has always meant so much to me, because Canton is a place that believes in hard work, community, and showing up for one another. As you begin the next chapter, I hope you carry those values with you wherever life takes you. Be proud of where you come from. Believe in yourself and never underestimate the impact you can have on others. Congratulations again. Wishing you all success, happiness, and a bright future ahead. This year, I will be giving out 2 $2,500 scholarships to Alexa Piazza and Nicholas Cooley.
I'd like to invite Marge Levy to present the Canton Garden Club Scholarship.
Hi, I've been a member of the Canton Garden Club for about 15 years, and every year we decide how much money we will donate for scholarships, and this year we will give 2 $1,000 scholarships. I'm the chair of that scholarship committee. Congratulations to all of you for the class of 26, and thank you for everyone who submitted applications to the Garden Club. While we were amazed by your academic success and your community service hours, it was really your passion, commitment, and goals that you wrote about in your essays that determined our award winners tonight. The first goes to a woman with amazing academic skills and community service hours. Frankly, I'm not really sure if she ever sleeps. Her essay was on water conservation and hydrant flushing that went from a basic curiosity to tangible outcomes and excellent follow-through. Congratulations to Charlotte Powers. Our second award also goes to a woman with amazing academic skills. Her essay was on climate change, focusing on the impact in the healthcare system and the disproportionate harm caused to minority community. She plans to study environmental studies. Congratulations to Sadie Gugliotta.
I'd like to invite Sarah McCarthy to present the C.F. McCarthy Student Athlete of Distinction Scholarship.
It is an honor to present the C.F. McCarthy's Student Athlete of Distinction Scholarship. This scholarship is in memory of my brother, Christopher Frederick McCarthy, who we lost in 2014. In 2020, my cousin Stephen opened C.F. McCarthy's, named for Chris, fulfilling a shared dream of he and Chris's. CF's is a very special place as it honors Chris's memory and is founded on and embodies so many characteristics that are so important to Chris and Stephen: integrity, family, community, friendship, helping others, hard work, and perseverance, to name a few. We are very proud to name Allison Lynn as this year's recipient. After reading Allison's application, it was an easy decision to select her as a very deserving recipient. Congratulations, Allison. We wish you continued success in your bright future.
Presenting the Elizabeth M. Betty D'Esso Memorial Scholarship and the Robert Bob D'Esso Memorial Scholarship is Donna Schleicher.
Good evening to all. My name is Donna D'Esso Schleicher. I'm here on behalf of the D'Esso family to present 2 scholarships. One is in memory of my mother, Elizabeth Betty D'Esso. This is the 26th time we will present this award, and it will be the 3rd time for my dad, Bob D'Esso. Standing before you in this auditorium, I'm reminded of my own graduation. I was sitting exactly where you were. Sometimes seems like yesterday, but as I got notification of my 55th high school reunion, I realized it was a very long time ago. Time does pass quickly. Be aware of this and take the time to live each moment and make the most of each and every day. The auditorium holds many happy memories for me. I attended assemblies, watched performances, watched my own 4 children graduate from here, my 4 siblings, and now we have 2 of my grandchildren are at the Hanson, so we will have DSO. They're not DSOs, but we will have more DSO descendants coming through. My mother was an amazing woman. She was the youngest of 4 children and was born just 3 months after the passing of her 6-year-old sister who was struck by a car. My mom always looked on the bright side of life and was constantly there to guide myself, my 2 sisters, and my 2 brothers. My dad was also an incredible person. He was the youngest of 3 children. He was a great athlete and, thanks to my grandmother, a good student. World War II was in full swing by the time my dad was a senior in high school. Since he turned 18 in January of his senior year, he wanted to quit high school and enlist in the Navy. Fortunately, he was colorblind, could not pass the Navy test, finished, graduated, went into the service, and when he did come back, he attended and graduated from Boston College. He was a member of the class of 1950. He was dedicated to his country, his faith, and he continued throughout his lifetime with dedication to St. John's, which is now St. Oscar Romero, the Veterans Council, the Canton Senior Center, and the Canton Honor Guard. My parents instilled in each of us the importance of a good education. This meant something different for each of the 5 of us. My mom and dad always encouraged us to be our best. First, this was done by example, and then by their unique ability to treat us all as individuals. 3 of the DSO children went on and graduated from 4-year colleges. The other 2, one went on through fashion design, one became a medical secretary, and the medical secretary eventually returned and became a nurse. Now all 5 of us are retired. Remember that futures are not always straight paths. Oftentimes you will hit stop signs, roadblocks, choices, and changes. Think about this as you move forward with your next steps. Be open, listen to suggestions, reflect on what the changes may bring. The time you take before making decisions may make your choices better. I would like to end this speech with the last words my father spoke to me. Remember to love each other and always be good to one another. The DSO family wishes each and every one of you success in your future endeavors. We are giving 2 scholarships with great pleasure. The first is the annual Betty DSO Scholarship, and that is going to Sony Cherry. And the second one, the Bob DSO Scholarship, is going to Cassidy Mackwell.
I'd like to invite the Maffey family to present the Anthony Maffey Memorial Scholarship and the Canton Little League Anthony Maffey Memorial Scholarship.
Hello, good evening. Congratulations to the class of 2026. I'm honored to be here with my husband, Bobby, my son, Austin, and his girlfriend, Kayla. The Anthony Maffey Memorial Scholarship was created by our family to honor our son and brother, Anthony, and to recognize and support an aspiring nurse. Anthony was a 2014 graduate of Canton High School who went on to Curry College to pursue his passion, a baccalaureate degree in nursing. During his college years, he worked part-time as a certified nursing assistant at Beth Israel Milton Hospital, and that is where he found the meaning of being called to be a nurse. His patients loved him. His nurses wanted them on his panel, and he thrived being in service to others. On January 4th, 2019, Anthony died tragically of something called SUDEP, sudden, unexpected death in epilepsy. Anthony left this world giving life the very best he had to offer. Through this scholarship, we continue Anthony's legacy of love and compassion, not only towards his patients, but for everyone lucky enough to know him. We are honored to present the 8th annual Anthony Maffey Memorial Scholarship to Kaylin Souza.
Together with my family, we'd like to thank the Canton Little League and its board of directors for establishing a scholarship in our son Anthony's name. Coaching Anthony and his teammates during spring, summer, and fall ball helped me create some of my fondest memories of his childhood, ones that happened here in this community on these Canton Little League fields. It is with honor and humility that we present the scholarship on behalf of the Canton Little League to Cassidy Mackwell.
I'd like to invite Vincent Del Zoppa and Gary Bello to present the Eddie Clifford Memorial Scholarship Fund.
Thank you. Well, I got a D in public speaking, so you're gonna have to put up with me. It'll be evident pretty soon. I didn't know what to say coming here tonight. It's an honor to be here on behalf of the Eddie Clifford Scholarship Fund. I wrote a speech, but lucky for you, I left it at home because it's about 70 pages long. So, having said that, I want to talk to you about Eddie Clifford and who he was. And I can't talk about Eddie without talking about my father. Before I get into that, I have to thank Jill Corwin, Gary Bello, and my cousin, attorney Laurel Bretta, and Ann for putting this all together. So I really appreciate it. It's always good to have a lawyer in your family. I'm sure with a cousin like me, my cousin wishes she went to medical school. I'm just kidding, Laurel. Without her, I wouldn't be standing here. Getting back to Eddie, my father was the golf pro at Blue Hill Country Club for over 40 years. Eddie Clifford was the starter there. Him and my father were the best of friends. And let me tell you a little story about Eddie. I've always said I've had two fathers, my real father and Eddie Clifford. And whenever my father wanted to give me a life lesson, I didn't listen because he was my father. But Eddie had an uncanny way of relating to me, and I get emotional because I miss them both. But let me tell you a little story about Eddie. Eddie was a severe alcoholic who was one drink away from dying. He picked himself up, got himself clean, spent the last 25 years of his life sober. But let me tell you about opportunity and giving back, and this was what Eddie was all about. My father was Big Vinny. I was Little Vinny, although I'm not so little anymore. Eddie was Fast Eddie because he always drove fast, so he was Fast Eddie everywhere he went. He lived in Waltham, and he used to have to commute to here. When he was clean and sober, he would be driving down Moody Street at 7 o'clock in the morning in his Porsche 911 Carrera, drop-top, leather interior, the whole bit, and he would go by a liquor store. And he would pull into the liquor store at 7 o'clock. This is a true story. And there'd be a bunch of guys out there waiting for the liquor store to open. And Eddie would roll down his window and he would say, "Anybody want to work?" No takers. Eddie would wait 5 minutes, he'd leave, he'd do the same thing the next day. Eddie would do it every day. Two guys from that crowd of people that Eddie used to stop and ask him want to work, worked for 22 years at Blue Hill Country Club, gave up booze, became great husbands, great family people. So it's opportunity, and that's what it's all about, giving back. Eddie used to say to me, whenever he was giving me a life lesson, he used to always say, "Hey, you want to remember this." So I know Eddie's looking down now, and my father, so I want to say this to you, and you want to remember this. I'm sure you're all going to become successful in life, and when you do, learn to give back. Give somebody an opportunity that they could, it's sometimes pointing somebody in the right direction can make all the difference in the world. And when you become millionaires, and I'm sure you all will, with CEOs of these great companies, give to charities, but more important to charities is volunteer. Give up your time. There's nothing more important to that. Help somebody who's a little bit less lucky than you are. Having said that, it's my honor to give out the Eddie Clifford Scholarship Award to Rose Isaac? Sorry, I don't have my glasses. Congratulations. Slotnick? Did I say that right? Oh, yeah. So we got and Madeline Driscoll. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, we have another transition. I'd like to thank our second group of presenters for coming tonight and their donations. I'd like to invite the following scholarship presenters to come to the stage. Michael J. Gunning Memorial Scholarship, Christine Wilson Memorial Scholarship, Jimmy Pascal Memorial Scholarship, Thomas J. Gunning Memorial Scholarship, Business Networking International Scholarship, Ponkapog Civic Association Scholarship, American Legion Edward Beatty Post 24 Scholarship, Success Express Scholarship, Knights of Columbus Scholarships, Susan Carrara La Rosa Memorial Scholarship, Champions of Wellness Scholarship, and the Canton Town Club. While our presenters are transitioning, students, if you can listen for your name and come to your right of the stage. Michaela Dickey, Kaylin Souza, Robert Dixon, Abigail Stock, Liam Connolly, Yasmina Chenner, Shannon Dervin, Megan Donovan, Isabel Farrow, Nora Giannakopoulos, Roisin McDonough, Alyssa Hanlon, Joseph O'Sullivan, Nicholas Crow, Ryan DeLello, Carolyn Chavo, Aaron Bigham, Catherine Budway, Megan Donovan, Megan Conley, Cameron Conley, Samantha Gardner, Anna Kennedy, Olivia McCabe, Melanie McDonough, Jack Norton, Abigail Stock, and Liam Connolly. Presenting the Michael J. Gunning Memorial Scholarship is Diane Wright.
Good evening. Congrats to all the graduates. I'm Diane Wright, and I have the honor of presenting my brother Michael Gunning Scholarship tonight. Over the years, our family has suffered a couple of devastating losses while living in Canton. I'll be forever grateful for the love and support the entire town showed our family after losing two of my brothers. This scholarship's a small way of saying thank you and giving back to the community that carried us through some of the hardest moments. I'm proud to call Canton my hometown for over 50 years. Most of you here tonight have never met my brother Mike, but he was one of a kind and one of the good ones gone far too soon. He was just like many of you sitting in front of me. He rode his bike around town. He played Pop Warner, Little League, Canton Youth Hockey. He'd gone to the Luce and the Galvin, and although he didn't attend Canton High, he graduated from Severian. I truly believe that's where he began to blossom and excel in just about everything he did, academically, socially, and athletically. He was just that kid, the one who made you laugh, the one you wanted to be around, and things just came naturally. Eventually, that path led him to his acceptance into the United States Military Academy at West Point. For many young people, the transition into a military academy is extremely difficult, but for Mike, he handled it with ease. My mom and I attended his 20th reunion in 2016, and just last month, I attended his 30th reunion at West Point. After a memorial mass honoring fallen cadets, I met so many classmates for the very first time and re-met classmates who shared countless stories about him from over 30 years ago. Several classmates told me they would not have graduated from West Point if it weren't for Mike. He helped them study. He pushed them through basic training when they were ready to quit. He made them laugh, especially made them laugh, with his uncanny humor and wit. Again and again, people describe Mike as a loyal friend, someone who quietly helped others succeed. Sadly, Mike died only 4 months after graduating from West Point. And I think it's important to share how my brother lost his life without sounding preachy, but because this message matters. Mike was crossing the street with two friends when they were struck by someone who was driving under the influence of alcohol. Mike lost his life, and his friends suffered lifelong injuries. One bad decision by a complete stranger changed the course of our family and his friends forever. It remains a constant reminder of devastating consequences of drinking and driving. We all grow up hearing the same message, don't drink and drive, and the truth is, it's really is that simple. Just don't do it. As you move into your next chapter of lives, I hope it's something you'll carry with you. Again, thankfully for living in this town, small community became everything during that time. People came together, mourned together, supported one another, and shared stories about Mike, which is something I'll never forget. So to you graduates, don't ever underestimate the value of the friendships from those sitting right beside you tonight. This year's recipient shared stories in the essay about helping people less fortunate through the church program here in town. Some people do community services to build their resume or check the box. Others do it simply for the joy of helping people and bringing comfort to those through difficult times. That speaks volume about who you are as a person at such a young age. So it's my honor to congratulate this year's recipient of the Michael Gunning Scholarship to Michaela Dickey.
Presenting the Christine Wilson Memorial Scholarship is Nicole Touchette.
Good evening, everybody. 2 years ago, we lost my sister Christine, a nurse, sister, daughter, cousin, and friend who had a rare gift for making everyone around her feel special and included. Creating this scholarship was our way of keeping that spirit alive and of letting Christine's compassion continue to touch lives even after she's gone. This year's recipient moved us deeply. She grew up facing hardships that would have broken many of us, and yet rather than turning inward, she turned outward, volunteering with people experiencing homelessness, mentoring youth, and leading in her community. She is now heading to college to pursue a nursing degree, hoping to be a source of care and compassion for families facing their hardest moments. In her essay, she wrote that she learned to see people not for their struggles, but for their dignity. Christine moved through the world exactly the same way, and she would have been so proud. It's our honor to present the Christine Wilson Memorial Scholarship to Kaylin Souza.
Presenting the Jimmy Pascal Memorial Scholarship is Casey Hurd.
Hello, everyone. My name is Casey Hurd, and I'm here to present the Jimmy Pascal Memorial Scholarship in honor of my brother who passed away unexpectedly in 2018. Jimmy was one of a kind. As a 2011 graduate of Canton High School, he was voted cross-country captain, was nominated as a lacrosse captain, was prom king, and even received the superlative of best personality in his graduating class. This recognition from his peers was not a surprise to anyone who knew Jimmy's vibrant and friendly personality. However, it was not easy for him to gain those achievements. He had to battle through adversity in his high school years. When he was only a freshman, a severe concussion led to the discovery of a brain tumor, and he underwent extensive surgery to remove it. The recovery was long, but sure enough, he worked hard and bounced back to play lacrosse, all while maintaining good academic standing. When life knocks you down, it's important to get back up, and Jimmy did just that. Jimmy really thrived doing physical work and being outdoors. He had a passion for woodworking and other hands-on activities. In fact, he helped build the trophy case that is in the lobby of Canton High School. He also loved skiing, riding his dirt bike, fishing, and yard work. Jimmy touched the lives of everyone he met. He loved life and the town of Canton. It's only fitting that a scholarship for a Canton High School student be part of continuing his legacy. It is my honor to award the Jimmy Paschal Memorial Scholarship to 3 students who exemplify the qualities and values that Jimmy embodied. Congratulations to the following recipients: Abigail Stock, Robert Dixon, and Kaylin Souza.
Presenting the Thomas J. Gunning Memorial Scholarship is Kristen Gunning.
It's been 6 years since we started giving out the scholarship in my husband Tom's name. In the beginning, most students apply in new Tom. The last 2 years, fewer and fewer applicants have done so. So for those who didn't know him, I'd like to give you a little bit about Tom. Tom was a husband, father, son, brother, and friend, always there to lend a helping hand whenever he could. His family was his top priority, especially our 3 boys, so much so that he lost his life in the very place he built for them. He spent endless hours in the rink with the boys. We had countless hockey parties, and many kids skated on that ice. In earlier years, I both loved and dreaded reading the essays. I got very emotional. I also learned a lot about Tom, the impact he had on so many students' lives. The last couple of years, fewer and fewer students knew him, making it sad for me. The personal relationships are gone. I fear that this year will be the last year for recipients to truly know and love Tom. These 2 recipients had a front row seat to how Tom lived his life. I'm really happy to present these scholarships to Liam Conley and Michaela Dickey.
I'd like to invite Todd Weaver to present a scholarship on behalf of the Business Networking International Scholarship.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Todd Weaver, and I'm a member for 9 years now of a group in Canton called Business Networking International. And frankly, the group is all over the world. There are over 300,000 members worldwide. We give a $1,000 scholarship to a student from Canton High School each year, and this is the 7th year we've done that. And the idea is to give it to a student who has indicated they wish to study some form of business or marketing, and had a unique application this year of a young woman who's interested in studying marketing and also wants to become a pilot later in life. So I thought that was pretty cool. We'd like to give the $1,000 scholarship this year to Yasmina Chinar.
The Ponkapog Civic Association Scholarship is presented by Jenny Smith.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jenny Smith, and I am the current president of the Ponkapog Civic Association. And tonight, the Civic is proud to award scholarships to 6 remarkable high school seniors. These students have not just been members of our community, they have been the hearts and souls of it. Some have been members of the Civic since childhood, some have worked as lifeguards, others have volunteered through organizations like the National Charity League, or have earned community service hours by supporting civic events and activities. Through their involvement, they have shown that leadership starts with showing up and contributing to the community around them. The Ponkapog Civic Association was established in 1950 as a way for Canton families to meet, swim, build lasting friendships, and give back to the community. Over the years, the Civic has become much more than a summer destination. It has become a place where generations of families have created lifelong memories and meaningful connections. Tonight's recipients have articulated their appreciation for the Civic's impact on their lives, and we are happy to show our appreciation in return. The Civic's rich tradition and strong community spirit are made possible through the commitment, contribution, and participation of individuals and families like you and yours. We hope your experience and memories of the Civic, its community, and the relationships you formed there will continue to enrich your lives for years to come. As you head off to your next chapters, we hope these awards remind you that your hometown is cheering you on. On behalf of the Ponkapog Civic Association Board of Directors and its membership, thank you. And we wish you the very best of luck in furthering your education and pursuing your future goals. It is my pleasure to recognize this year's scholarship recipients: Shannon Dervin, Megan Donovan, Isabel Farrow, Nora Giannakopoulos, Roisin McDonough, and Kaylin Souza.
I'd like to invite Fred Cobbs and Darren Baumeister to present the American Legion Edward Beatty Post 24 scholarships.
Good evening. My name is Darren Baumeister, and this is Fred Cobbs. We are members of the Edward J. Beatty Post 24 here in Canton, Massachusetts. You may know the Edward J. Beatty Post as being the building that's in the corner of Canton High School. The members of the Post were not just veterans of the United States military, but we're also Canton High School grads. We're parents often of Canton High School students, and we're pleased here today to be able to present these scholarships today. On behalf of the Edward J. Beatty Post 24, American Legion Post in Canton, we'd like to congratulate 4 students from the Canton High School class of 2026. As you move forward, remember that this achievement is not the finish line, it's the launching pad. Use this opportunity to explore boldly, to challenge yourself, and to give back to the communities that have supported you. First of all, Megan Donovan. Nora Giannakopoulos. Alyssa Hanlon, and Joseph Sullivan. Congratulations.
Thank you. The Success Express Scholarship Award is presented by Kim Martell.
Good evening, and congratulations to the class of 2026 Scholarship Award winners. I would like to personally thank Anne Murray and the Guidance Department for all of their hard work and how dedicated they are in helping students navigate to their next chapter in life. I am Kim Martell, and I am the president of Success Express. Success Express is a networking group made up of professionals from the Canton area businesses and organizations. My business is a holistic financial planning practice where I guide my clients to achieve their full financial potential. Tonight, we would like to dedicate this year's scholarship in memory of our longtime member, Joseph Delaney, who passed away last week. We received many applications this year, and we were very impressed with this student's academic accomplishments, leadership skills, and extracurricular activities. You're an extraordinary young person. I am pleased to present this year's Success Express Scholarship to Nicholas Crow. We wish you the very best at the United States Military Academy at West Point.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Jim Downer to present the Knights of Columbus scholarships.
Good evening. Each year, we award memorial scholarships that have been generously endowed by the families of deceased members of our council. Unfortunately, these memorial scholarships have been around for so long, and the job of taking care of them has passed from person to person, that I really am unable to really give a very good presentation. I really envy the people who can discuss the person in whose honor the scholarship is being named. But alphabetically by family name, these deceased members are Anthony Alamo, Howard T. Chase, Thomas J. Lane Sr., Paul E. O'Hara, as well as Richard and Arlene Tisdale. In addition, we occasionally award the Father John J. Flatley Council Scholarship in memory of the first pastor of what was then called the St. John the Evangelist Parish. In years like this one, when we do not have an awardee for all the scholarships, we honor the donors by saying that the awardees will share figuratively in the unawarded scholarships. Our scholarship application encourages the students to tailor their response to the common application to describe dedication to service to others and to the community. I almost always find that dedication in the students at Canton High. This clearly reflects well on you, the graduating seniors, but also on your parents as well as the teachers and staff of the Canton Public School System. This year was no exception. So this evening, I have the honor to present the Anthony Alamo Memorial Scholarship to Ryan DeLello. Thank you.
Presenting the Susan Carraro La Rosa Memorial Scholarship is Kelly McGowan.
Good evening. The Susan Carraro La Rosa Scholarship was created to honor the memory of a friend who was a proud Canton Bulldog, a U.S. Marine veteran, devoted mother, loyal friend, and passionate field hockey player, whose strength, humor, and love for others leaves a lasting impact. Almost 5 years ago, we lost Sue far too soon. Losing someone in this way leaves questions, heartbreak, and a space that can never truly be filled. But tonight is not about loss, it's about remembering who Sue was, the lives she touched, and the legacy that continues through these scholarships. Sue loved fiercely. She loved her family, her friends, her teammates, her country, and the game of field hockey. Sue was a goalie for the Canton High Bulldogs back in 1988. Some of her teammates, including Chrissy and Kristen, are here tonight. Our team shared lots of laughs and memories. We built lifelong friendships that still remain strong today. Sue had an incredible pride in Canton and in Canton High School. No matter how many years passed, she showed up to Canton High field hockey games and events to support the Bulldogs. Sometimes from the bleachers, I could hear her loudly critiquing the refs and our coaching decisions too. She truly loved this town and was proud to be from Canton. That Bulldog pride stayed with her through her life. She would be proud of such a wonderful evening, honoring some of Canton's finest tonight. This community is special. Sue was also someone who understood hard work and dedication. Right after high school, she joined the United States Marine Corps and proudly served our country during Operation Desert Storm in Iraq. That strength, discipline, and courage defined her throughout her life. If you knew Sue personally, you knew her sarcastic sense of humor. She could make you laugh when you needed it most, and she would tell it like it is, whether you wanted to hear it or not. but she would also stand beside you no matter what. She was the kind of friend that everyone deserves. Most importantly, Sue adored her children, Joe and Emily. She was proud of them. Sue's spirit lives on so clearly through both of her children. She would be so proud. She was also lovingly remembered by her sisters, Tricia and Anne Marie, and by the incredible community of friends and family that continue to carry on her memory with them each day. One of the most important things we can take from Sue's story is always check on your friends, be there for people. Sometimes the strongest, funniest, and most caring people are carrying struggles we cannot see. Thank you for being here tonight to remember Sue and the many others as we celebrate their lives and help continue their legacies through these scholarships. Their impact will never be forgotten. I have the privilege of awarding 3 scholarships to 3 outstanding young women. I know these recipients both personally, both on and off the field, and each of them represent the qualities Sue valued so deeply: toughness, loyalty, heart, determination, and humor, though thankfully they're a little less sarcastic than Sue was. Sue would be proud of these young women. I know they will continue to do great things, not only as athletes, but as people. Presented by Sue's sister, Tricia, the award winners are Michaela Dickey, Nora Giannakopoulos, and Carolyn Schiavo. Congratulations.
I'd like to invite Fiona Trendell and Sophie Regan to present the Champions of Wellness scholarships.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fiona Trendell.
And I'm Sophie Regan, and we are the student leaders of the 2026 Champions of Wellness 5K Road Race to help raise awareness for student mental health.
Congratulations to all of the scholarship recipients this evening, as well as the entire class of 2026. Your perseverance, hard work, and dedication as a community of students has paid off, and we hope you're all proud of yourselves for the outstanding accomplishments we celebrate tonight.
Tonight we have the privilege of presenting the 3rd annual Champions of Wellness scholarships. This past November, the Champions of Wellness Road Race took place, where 150 runners in our community gathered to participate in a 5K in support of mental health. This was made possible through partnership with Kyle Cares, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting honest awareness about mental health, plus many local businesses in our community, and most importantly, those of you who showed up on race day in November.
It's safe to say that the Champions of Wellness Road Race made a profound impact on students throughout the district as well as our community as a whole. One of the biggest successes of this race has been being able to raise over $10,000 over the last few years. In addition to that success, perhaps the greater success is being able to give back to the students through our 3 scholarships we are presenting tonight.
Without further ado, it is our honor and privilege to present this award to Champions of Wellness scholarships to senior Kate Budway, Aaron Bingham, and Megan Donovan for their outstanding demonstration of overall wellness.
I would like to invite Bill DeChico and Wes Gardner to present the Canton Town Club scholarships.
Good evening and congratulations to the class of 2026. My name is Mike Gardner, proud member of the Canton Town Club. Some of you may know me as Mr. G, Mike G, West G, the guy who lives at 24B, or Sammy G's dad. And as much as Sammy G hoped that I didn't embarrass her tonight, someone mentioned Severian, so I'm going to go right back to high school where I graduated in 1991 with Mike Gunning, who was one of the most outstanding human beings I have ever met, and you could not meet a better family. Really special that they're on stage with me tonight. On behalf of the members of the Canton Town Club and our president, Bill DeChico, it is my honor to be the presenter of the 2026 Canton Town Club Scholarship Awards. Some of you may be uncertain what the Canton Town Club is, and you might have memories of going to banquets and parties and bat mitzvahs or whatever we did upstairs. And then you might have snuck downstairs to have a soda and played pool and snuck in a game of golden tea. And then you watched your dad sneak away for 5 hours to a place you heard as the Canton Town Club. All those things are true. But as many of us have encountered, the Town Club, you need to know this. It is a wonderful place where the priority is giving back to the community. Through our members' generosity and fundraising events, we raise money for our scholarships. Year after year, the Town Club demonstrates its commitment to Canton students and the community. We stand by our statement of 3 things: community, tradition, and charity. Our scholarships this year are in honor of members that are no longer with us. This year, we are proud to award 10 scholarships in memory of Charles Armando. Chuck was a longtime member, a gentleman, and a friend, and his presence was felt by all. Chuck was highly active in the club and in the community and will forever be missed. Before I announce the names of the scholarship winners, I want to say this. You're in high school, and for some of us, maybe myself, we peaked in high school, and it was the greatest times of our lives. Your path, though, led you here to where you're sitting right now, and this path that you're on is very good. Stay here. Do this now. Your swagger right now has swagger, and swagger is confidence. Confidence leads to momentum, and momentum is what you need right now when you're going into either the work world or in September when you hit and you're in college. Take that with you. You are bulldogs. You're animals, so go and get it. Be part of what changes America. Be the greatest you can possibly be. I want to congratulate you all again. Good luck, and God bless. First off, my protege, Cam Conley. Megan Conley, his sister. Mom and Dad must be proud. Liam Conley, different spelling, no relation. But I'm sure they're very proud as well. Michaela Dickey, who we've heard her name 17 times already tonight. Sammy, you out there? Samantha Gardner? Anna Kennedy. Olivia McCabe. Melanie McDonough. JT Norton. And Abigail Stock. Congratulations, guys.
At this time, I'd like to thank our third group of presenters for coming tonight and their donation. And I'm going to invite up our next group of presenters. The Canton Youth Soccer Scholarship, Canton Youth Hockey Association David P. Leary Memorial Scholarship, Canton Youth Soccer George Thomas Memorial Scholarship, Canton Police Association Scholarship, Maryland and Company Real Estate Scholarship, the Canton Lions Club, Canton Youth Football Scholarship, Lawrence P. Cohen Memorial Scholarship, Community Club of Canton, Don Smith Memorial Scholarship, Balsamo Memorial Charitable Foundation Scholarship, Canton Association of Business and Industry, James Beatrice Sala Family Donation Foundation Scholarship. And while our presenters get settled, students, if you could listen for your name and come over to the stage on your right. Georgia Campbell, Catherine Powers, Tony Sphere, Ben Weaver, Alyssa Wong, Grady Carr, Liam Connolly, Gavin Davis, Ryan DeLello, Andrew Gillis, Brady Hart, Georgia Ann Penders, Joseph Ryan, Teddy Schumann, Abigail Stock, Matthew Wright, Nora Giannakopoulos, Nicholas Crow, Marissa Brooks, Jack Norton, Joseph Ryan, Kaylin Souza, Matthew Wright, Grady Carr, Mary Jane Robbins, Nicholas Crow, Jake Marcel, Julia Owen, Dea Zaraj, Avery Lebowitz, Veronica Lykoff, Riley Swearingen, Teddy Schumann, Robert Dixon, Kendall Labanara, Andrew Gillis, Michaela Dickey, Zoya Gildenberg, Owen Sasson, and that's it. I'm going to invite Craig Kowalski and Marissa Thomas to present the Canton Youth Soccer Scholarship and the Canton Youth Soccer George Thomas Memorial Scholarships.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Craig Kowalski. I'm the president of Canton Youth Soccer, and it's my honor to be here tonight. It's one of my favorite nights of the year, one of my favorite roles in this job that I have. With me is Marissa Thomas, and every year, we give out 5 scholarships. We give out a $5,000 George Thomas Memorial Scholarship in memory of George Thomas, which Marissa will present in just a moment. And then we give out 4 $1,000 scholarships. These are all to former players in Canton Youth Soccer who have come up through the ranks. We had a ton of applicants this year. It was a really hard choice, but these 5 individuals are great members of this community, and we're proud to present these awards tonight.
Good evening, and congratulations to the class of 2026. I would first like to thank the Canton Youth Soccer Association, Canton Public Schools, and Coach Danny Erickson for continuing to honor my husband, George Edward Thomas IV, through this scholarship. 5 years later, hearing George's name still spoken and remembered in this community remains one of the greatest gifts my children and I could receive. This February marks 5 years since George passed away suddenly from a genetic heart condition at just 38 years old. And if I'm being honest, 5 years feels both impossibly long and somehow like no time at all. There are still moments I expect to hear his laugh or see him on the sidelines or watch him light up a room the way only George could. Because that's who he was. George loved deeply. He loved his family, his friends, his teammates, his community, and especially his children. He made people feel seen, valued, and important. George was love. It was what he gave to everyone around him every single day. In 2022, the Canton Youth Soccer Association established the George E. Thomas IV Scholarship, awarded to a graduating senior who embodies teamwork, character, dedication, compassion, resilience, respectfulness, and passion. All qualities that define George in every part of his life. I fell in love with George while watching him play soccer at Wheaton College as the center midfielder for his team. He was a true leader both on and off the field, devoted, passionate, and the kind of teammate who made everyone around him feel better. Soccer was always such a huge part of who he was, not just because he loved the game itself, but because he loved the connection, the teamwork, and the sense of family that came with it. Some of my favorite moments and memories are watching him coach our son, Georgie, who's a 5th grader now, in preschool and in kindergarten with Canton Youth Soccer. George, my husband, created an atmosphere of organized fun, laughter, and joy. He had a way of making every child feel included and part of the team. That was just George, making people feel welcomed, connected, and happy to be there. Over the last 5 years, I've reflected often on what George would want people to take away from his life. And I think it's this: show up for people, appreciate the moments you're in, and keep going even when life changes your plans. This year, as I read through the scholarship applicants, one student's story immediately stood out to me because it reflected so many of these same values. Sophomore year, this student suffered a serious ankle injury that required 2 surgeries and completely changed the high school soccer experience she had envisioned for herself. But what moved me the most was not the injury itself, it was the way she responded to it. Instead of walking away, she stayed connected to her team. She showed up to practices and games, encouraged her teammates, and found ways to continue leading even when she could no longer be on the field herself. In her essay, she wrote, "Being a great teammate isn't defined by how many minutes you play or how many goals you score. It's about how much you care." That moment I read those words, I thought of George. Because that is exactly who he was. George believed leadership was about lifting people up. He believed the greatest teammates are the ones who continue to show up for others in the hard moments, not for the recognition, but because they genuinely care. What also touched me deeply was her ability to turn hardship into purpose. Through her recovery, she discovered a passion for helping others and now hopes to become an orthopedic physician assistant so she can support people through difficult moments the same way she was supported. That kind of resilience, compassion, and perspective is exactly what this scholarship was created to honor. Over these last 5 years, I've learned that grief moves differently than time. The missing never ends. Grief is really just love with nowhere to go, and because love doesn't end, neither does George's impact. We keep him alive by saying his name, telling his stories, watching our boys play the game he loved, and continuing to show up for one another the way he always did. The recipient's story is inspiring not because everything went perfectly, but because of the way she responded when it didn't. She embodies so many of the qualities that made George so special, and I know he would be incredibly proud to have his name connected to hers. It is truly an honor to present the 2026 George E. Thomas IV Scholarship to Alyssa Wong.
All right, for the remaining 4 $1,000 scholarships, again, many applicants, very hard decision for the board this year, but the recipients this year are Catherine Powers, Ben Weaver, Tony Sphere, and Georgia Campbell.
I'd like to invite Mike Zaney to present the Canton Youth Hockey Association David P. Leary Memorial Scholarships.
Thank you, Ann. Canton Youth Hockey is incredibly proud of the Canton High Class of 2026. Not only did the boys and girls team achieve great feats on the ice, they were also led by high-character leaders who gave back to the community and supported our program as we continue to thrive in the town of Canton. Most of the scholarship award winners have been with Canton Youth Hockey from the Learn to Skate program at age 4 or 5 all the way through our Bulldog and girls U18 half-season teams. We're so proud of their commitment to Canton Youth Hockey as their career has blossomed into high school, but we see greater honor in what they're able to give back as young adults. It means so much to us to see high school kids come back and volunteer with the program in any way possible, whether it be Learn to Skate on Saturday mornings, Mighty Mite Reffing over in Stoughton, or just helping with any skills program when the opportunity presents itself. We'd like to congratulate the 2026 award winners and wish them the best of luck in their future endeavors. We wish you the best, and please don't forget about coming back and helping out the best youth athletic program in Canton as you get older. Canton Youth Hockey 2026 Scholarship Award winners are, we have 12 of them, so please bear with me, Georgia Campbell, Georgia Ann Penders, Brady Hart, Teddy Schumann, Joseph Ryan, Gavin Davis, Andrew Gillis, Matthew Wright, Ryan DeLello, Grady Carr, Abigail Stock, and Liam Conley.
I'd like to invite Officer Ensley Cotard to present our Canton Police Association scholarships.
Good evening. First, I'd like to thank the members of the Canton Public School Committee, the Office of the Superintendent, and the Central Office staff for their unwavering continued support of the officers of the Canton Police Association. I also want to give many kudos and thanks to the front office staff and administration team at Canton High School for team at Canton High School and the Canton High Guidance Department for organizing this scholarship night and the many other events for the class of 2026, and for inviting me to speak on behalf of the Canton Police Association this evening. Tonight, I have the honor and privilege of presenting 7 members of the class of 2026 with the Canton Police Association Scholarship. These students have distinguished themselves through hard work, perseverance, leadership, and commitment to both their academics and their community. These outstanding graduates will be attending an impressive group of colleges and universities, including Merrimack College, West Point, Bentley University, Michigan State University, Fairfield University, and St. Anselm's College. On behalf of the Canton Police Association, we congratulate each and every one of you and wish you continued success as you begin your exciting new chapter. We are proud to recognize your accomplishments tonight and confident that each of you will continue to make your community proud. Please join me in congratulating and welcome the following recipients of the Canton Police Association Scholarship to the stage: Marissa Brooks, Nicholas Crow, Nora Giannakopoulos, Jack J.T. Norton, Joey Ryan, Kaylin Souza, and Matt Wright. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Marilyn Burke to present the Marilyn and Cumpy Real Estate Scholarship and the Canton Lions Club Scholarship.
Start with the Lions Club. So my name is Marilyn Burke. I'm president of the Canton Lions. And just so you know a little bit about the Lions, our motto is "We serve." So this was the hardest year to pick an applicant or a scholarship winner because the essays were outstanding, the academic achievements were outstanding, and a few of us read the essays multiple times, but ultimately we had to decide, and the young woman that won impressed us so much because of her academic achievement, her leadership, and her service to the community, which started years ago. Everything she touched, everything that she did, started a long time ago for her. And that's what we look for in a lion. She's service-oriented. She gives with her heart first. So this year's scholarship winner is Mary Jane Robbins. The next scholarship, I was very inspired in presenting the Lions last year. So this is the first year that I've offered one from my company, Maryland and Company. And I'm doing this really on behalf of my father because my dad was quite a planner. My dad's legacy is from Bryant University, but he was born in Newport, Rhode Island, and then moved to Providence. And his family didn't have a lot of money, so he worked really hard in school. And my dad ended up skipping a couple of grades twice, and he put himself in the Navy, and then he put himself through Bryant College. And he was a very, very hard worker and taught us the value of education. So his planning came in. My brothers and sisters and I all got to go to college, but my dad made sure that we understood the value of hard work or a work ethic. And one of his give backs was to a young person who came from, didn't have the opportunity to go. So I wanted to do the same thing. Not everybody has the opportunity to go to college. So I thought I could give someone a head start by giving a little something. My chosen field, even though I studied education and finished my teaching degree, my dad and I opened 2 businesses together, and he helped me until he passed. So this is my give back. So the scholarship winner, actually, opportunity favored this young man because he was the recipient that entered. There weren't a lot of candidates, but still in reading his application, it reflected humility, maturity, leadership, and a genuine compassion for others. He's actually going to be heading to the University of New Hampshire, and I'm really proud to congratulate Grady Carr for his hard work and dedication.
I'd like to invite Jason Delezia to present the Canton Youth Football Scholarship.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Delizia, the president of Canton Youth Football and Cheer Program. Alongside Rob McDonough, the vice president, we are delighted to announce that we will be awarding a $500 scholarship to 3 remarkable recipients. These individuals have demonstrated exceptional dedication, leadership, academic achievement, and a commitment to excellence both on and off the field throughout their time in the program and beyond. I am confident that their accomplishments will pave the way for continued success and a positive impact on their chosen paths. We are incredibly proud of them and eagerly anticipate witnessing their future achievements. On behalf of the Canton Youth Football and Cheer Program, I am honored to present the scholarships to Jake Marcel, Nick Crow, and JT Norton. Congratulations to all 3.
I'd like to invite Neil Cohen to present the Lawrence P. Cohen Memorial Scholarship Foundation.
Good evening, class, Canton High class of 2026 and your families. I was told to keep this short, and I'm not sure many people believe that I can, but I'm going to do it. It's truly an honor to be here at Canton High to present the very first Lawrence P. Cohen Foundation Scholarship. I want to acknowledge my family who is here tonight and their continued support with this mission in such a meaningful way, and Matthew Tobin, our scholarship chairperson, for his leadership and dedication throughout the process. This scholarship is deeply personal to our family. It reflects my father's legacy, one built on resilience, perseverance, leadership, and determination in the face of adversity. Those aren't just his words, They are the standard that he lived his life by. Tonight's recipient embodies those values. This young lady has demonstrated a strong academic performance in her years here at Canton High School and an unwavering drive to overcome obstacles and challenges in the classroom and in life. As a student who learns differently, she has taken a path that requires more, and she has met that challenge with strength, determination in both the classroom and in life. She was one of many highly qualified applicants. The committee had an incredibly difficult decision to make, but this young lady's dedication and persistence stood out to the selection committee. What makes this moment so meaningful, you asked? My father believed that character is revealed when things are hard, not when they're easy. Tonight, we are not just recognizing achievement, we are honoring that spirit and continuing his legacy. It is my greatest honor to present the very first Lawrence P. Cohen Foundation Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $10,000 to Kaylin Souza.
I'd like to invite Lisa Lopez to invite scholarships on behalf of the Community Club of Canton.
Good evening and congratulations to the class of 2026. And I must say congratulations to your families as well, your entire families. This is the graduating class that began its middle school in COVID. And so you had quite a journey to survive and then thrive throughout this process, so you got it done. As we listened this evening, we're hearing from a mix of organizations like the Community Club that are really the heart and soul of Canton, that reflect the very fabric of what this community is, as well as individuals in whose names scholarships are given. And whether or not we know personally the individuals that are memorialized, as we listen to their stories, we cannot help but be moved by who they were, the values that they are, and remember, class of 26, this is the stuff of which the community is made. So, stating the obvious, there's a huge difference between the scholarships tonight and we know the total cost of a college education. But together with the funds that are being presented tonight, remember that you're also being sent off with the support of an entire community who has confidence in you, who is rooting for you, and who will welcome you back if you ever choose to return home to Canton, because it's such a wonderful community. So it is with my great pleasure to award 5 scholarships from the Community Club of Canton, which is a group of women who have for decades devoted themselves to service in the community. And the 5 recipients are Veronica Lykoff, Riley Swearingen, Avery Levowitz, Dea Zaraj, and Abigail Stock.
I'd like to invite Linda Huerta to present the Don Smith Memorial Scholarship and the Balsamo Memorial Charitable Foundation Scholarship.
Thank you. My name is Linda Huerta, and I'm honored to be here tonight for a variety of reasons, one of which is to present the Don Smith Memorial Award on behalf of the Bank of Canton. My association with Mr. Smith began when I was a student at Canton High. He was a highly respected English teacher and coach of the boys hockey team, positions he held for years. In the classroom, he shared his passion for teaching with countless students, and he trained and mentored Canton's hockey players, both on and off the ice. Later, I enjoyed the company of Don and his wife, Ann, at the golf course. And finally, I had the pleasure of working with him on the board of directors at the Bank of Canton, where he served as chairman. Mr. Smith became skilled at every endeavor in his life, but is most assuredly remembered for being an exemplary individual. This award is presented tonight to a student who excelled academically, athletically, and beyond. He shares both Mr. Smith's passion for hockey and the example he set as a human being. On behalf of the Bank of Canton, please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Don Smith Memorial Award, Teddy Schumann. Teddy, congratulations. Next up, I'm a member of the Balsamo family and creator of this scholarship. It is my pleasure to be here again with my family. My husband and my son are here, both graduates of Canton High School, to celebrate yet another group of our extraordinary Canton youth. We always find it fascinating how you all navigated your school responsibilities while participating in multiple sports, extracurriculars, volunteering, working, and keeping up with your commitments to your family and friends. Our hats off to you, and thank you for sharing so much of yourselves in your essays. We extend congratulations and best wishes for health and happiness to each one of you in the years ahead. You all should be very proud of your accomplishments. Like many other presenters here, my family has a long history with Canton High. Back in 1972, when my older brother, who we lovingly refer to as the favorite, graduated. During the last 54 years, 28 family members have graduated proudly from this school. We are now all excited for you as you approach your graduation and the festivities surrounding it. Every year, this night provides my family and I the opportunity to publicly and simultaneously honor you and pay tribute to our beloved ancestors. They were wonderful role models and inspirational leaders. A lot of them were entrepreneurs. They had little means when they started out, and when faced with challenges, they were resilient, determined. They worked hard to achieve their goals, but never forgot what it was like being the underdog. It was important to them that we remain mindful of those whose life journey may be more difficult than ours, and that we follow in their footsteps to take action and help in any way we can. Last month, we lost our mother and family matriarch, Yvonne Balsamo. She was a very graceful person, sophisticated, intelligent, respectful, selfless, incredibly generous, and one of the kindest people ever born. A beautiful person inside and out. My mother was very proud of this scholarship and always enjoyed learning about the graduates, their accomplishments and aspirations, and she often made a point to meet our recipients in person. Perhaps one way for us to pass on what our ancestors taught us is to share with you some words of advice that they gave us for navigating life. Be your best, even on your worst day. Love your country. Respect our veterans. Appreciate your life. It is a precious gift. And never, ever underestimate the value of family. In memory of them, this scholarship was created to recognize young people from Canton High School who we feel share their same characteristics. We received over 60 scholarship applications, and the scholarship is a $5,000 award. We believe these two recipients are exemplary role models, individuals who are an inspiration and who emulate our family's values. Please join us in congratulating the 2026 recipients of the Balsamo Family Memorial Scholarship, Kendall Labanara, and Robert Dixon. Thank you so much.
I'd like to invite Richard Stady and Greg Pando to present the Canton Association of Business and Industry and the James and Beatrice Sala Family Foundation Scholarships.
Okay, great. All right. Good, thank you very much. I know it's been a long evening, and I was soaking wet getting out of the car. It was an incredible thunderstorm. You probably don't hear it here, but I've dried off. That's how long the night's been, so I feel good. All right? That's the positive thing. I have the honor and the pleasure, first, of presenting, on behalf of CABI, a scholarship to a young man who I had the pleasure of actually meeting, of all places, in church this spring. I didn't know his connection. I didn't realize I knew, something about him. But he's a wonderful person, and it had nothing to do with picking this scholarship. This was one that the CABI board looks over the applications. CABI stands for Canton Association of Business Industry, and they do an awful lot, obviously, to promote business, but they also give back. And I think that's the message tonight. There was a speaker who did a great job. He said, I'm not a good speaker. I thought he did a great job, talking about giving back, right? That's what it's about. And so, I think hopefully you'll take that lesson with you, that you're all receiving something tonight, all of you. And I think you should take that to heart, that different people have made a sacrifice to give you something. Take that and give something back when the time comes. Just keep that in mind. So this award, CABI gives, by the way, funds to food pantry in the holidays. They give donations to St. Vincent de Paul. They do other things in terms of local charities. And one of the things they do is they have 3 scholarships, and one of the ones is tonight to Canton High Senior. Without further ado, Andrew Gillis, come on up. Congratulations. All right. There you go. That's a $3,000 scholarship. All right, so thank you. So, obviously, I want to recognize Superintendent Derek Folan. It's always a pleasure to see him. I don't know how many more years he's got left, not pushing out the door, but it's always great to see you. And Principal Sperling, right? Good to see you. And I obviously want to salute the parents tonight and the graduates on a great job, because I will tell you, as a member of this committee, we really, really, honest to God, had a tough time picking our finalists. We went back and forth. Probably in all the years I've had the pleasure and honor in serving on the Sala Foundation, this was probably one of the hardest ones. It really was. You all are an outstanding group. You wrote some incredible essays. Your grades were incredible. It was really just a really tough selection process. And I want to say on a personal note that I do serve as a county official, and I do get around the county. But tomorrow, Thursday night, I'll be at the Aggie School. Canton is very generous. The number of scholarships that Canton gives out for a number of reasons is outstanding. And it's second to none. I mean it. A lot of people say different things about a town. You should really know that this is a good community, and people here care about one another, and they do give back, and I do want to give that message to you. On a personal note, 2 things I noticed when I was sitting in the back there. I got here, as just said, I ran in and I got wet. But I heard this young man who probably doesn't remember me, but I remember he was a little guy at the hockey rink, Mr. Schumann here, got an award. And he got the award named after Mr. Smith. Now, again, everyone here obviously knows his dad, knows Coach Schumann. Of course you know that. He's a great coach. Everybody knows that. But how many really know Donnie Smith? You don't. Okay? I'd be surprised if anyone knew Donnie Smith. Maybe there were some hockey players back there, but I knew Donnie Smith. And before your dad, Donnie Smith was a heck of a coach. He didn't win those state titles, but he was an outstanding teacher, outstanding coach. And anybody in that era knew who he was. So I can't think of a better person than you to receive that award. Congratulations to you. I do. Okay? The other thing, too, I listened to the previous speaker, and I just want to say I'm not off script, but I don't care. I get this once a year. I get to say this. The Balsamo family is an outstanding family. They're so generous. They're so kind. They're always giving. And I know they lost their mom this year. It was tough for her to say what she did. I hope you would give her applause right now. Thank her. So, we have 5 scholarships this year. The amount of the scholarship is $8,500, which means over a 4-year period, you're getting basically tonight a $34,000 scholarship. That's not bad. It could be a little more, hopefully, but it's still it's a very honorable thing to do. And it's presented on behalf of what's called the James and Beatrice family. Who was James and Beatrice Sala? Again, like who was Donnie Smith? Who were these other people? You hear all these names tonight. He was a wealthy person who made a lot of money. And you know what? He gave it back. And he established multiple charities. This is just one of them. There's other ones. And this is the one that I happen to be honored to serve on as chair, along with Gene Manning. And our other trustee is doing the same thing we're doing at Blue Hills, giving it to a senior from Canton there. This foundation is primarily based to give out scholarship awards. That's what we decided. That's our purpose. That's our charter, to put the money back into the young people to help you go on to further education. So again, great competition, an incredibly difficult task. We really feel we've got 5 good candidates. We hope that when you get this award, treasure it, take it as a gift, and go on and do something with your life, and eventually, too, please give back, okay? So without further ado, I'd like the recipients to come up. This year's Sala Foundation recipients, I have Gene Manning here to get my back. Michaela Dickey, come on up. Nora Giannakopoulos. Is she not here? Where? Oh. Thought she left. Zoya Gildenberg. Owen Sasson. And Abigail Stock. Okay. Again, congratulations to all the recipients. An honor to be here tonight, and best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you very much. Thank you. There you go.
Congratulations, Abigail. Good luck to you.
I'd like to give a big thank you to our last group of presenters for this evening and give them a moment to exit the stage, and then I'm going to be presenting the rest of our scholarships this evening. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay, students, if you can listen for your name, and you're going to come to the right of the stage. Isabella Corporon, Megan Donovan, Karina Erickson, Bharat Ramanathan, Elvis Wang, Courtney Farrington, Abigail Stock, Ashton Joyce, Chloe Dubosan, Olivia McCabe, Callie Martell, Nicholas Dietrich, and Sia Bass. Receiving the Don and Marilyn Rodman Memorial Scholarship is Isabella Corporon. Receiving the Blue Hill Montessori School Scholarship, the Galvin Middle School Student Leadership Council Scholarship is Megan Donovan. Receiving the Blue Hills Civic and Priscilla Sawyer Hilton Performing Arts Scholarship is Karina Erickson. Receiving the Martin J. Bedoin Scholarship is Bharat Ramanathan. Receiving a Martin J. Bedoin Scholarship is Elvis Huang. Receiving the Canton Firefighters Association Scholarship and the AFSCME Local 362 Scholarship is Courtney Farrington. Receiving an AFSCME Local 362 Scholarship is Abigail Stock. Receiving a Virginia Merchant Memorial Scholarship is Ashton Joyce. Receiving the Trinity Episcopal Church Scholarship, the Dr. and Mrs. James Galvin Scholarship, the CHS Student Council Scholarship, is Chloe Dubasson. The CHS Student Council Scholarship is being awarded to Charlotte Powers. The Paul Micharoni Memorial Scholarship goes to Olivia McCabe. The John Langwith Scholarship goes to Callie Martell. The Matthew Christian Memorial Scholarship goes to Nicholas Dietrich. The Frank R. and Elizabeth Simone Foundation Scholarship and the Martin J. Bedoin Scholarship go to Sia Bass. Okay, students, if you can listen for your name. Veronica Lykov, Cameron Conley, Bailey Devine, Vladimir Francoeur, Maggie Sullivan, Natalia Tolliver, Emerson Martin, Shaylin Murphy, Jao Marcus Barbosa, Miranda Grady, Maddie Smith, Michaela Dickey, Joseph Ryan, Ryan DeLello, and Justin Lesser, if you can come to the right side of the stage. Receiving a Matthew Christian Memorial Scholarship is Veronica Lykov. Receiving a Sons of the American Legion Edward Beatty Post 24 Scholarship is Cameron Conley. Receiving a Canton Alliance Against Substance Abuse Scholarship and a Demetra E. Demos Memorial Scholarship is Bailey Devine. Receiving a Haywood Sullivan Memorial Scholarship is Vladimir Francoeur. Receiving the Organogenesis Scholarship is Maggie Sullivan. Receiving a Canton Firefighters Association Scholarship is Natalia Tolliver. Receiving a Frank R. and Elizabeth Simone Foundation Scholarship is Emerson Martin. Receiving a Canton Little League Bob Carwin Memorial Scholarship and an AFSCME Local 362 Scholarship is Shaylin Murphy. The Seabird Foundation Scholarship goes to João Marcus Barbosa. Receiving a Blue Hill Civic Priscilla Sawyer Hilton Performing Arts Scholarship is Miranda Grady. The Duggan Scholarship is going to Madeline Smith. A Dr. and Mrs. James Galvin Scholarship goes to Michaela Dickey. A Trinity Episcopal Church Scholarship and a William Armando Memorial Scholarship are awarded to Joseph Ryan. The Canton Little League Joseph Archipert Memorial Scholarship goes to Ryan DeLello. A Canton Little League Brian McDonough Memorial Scholarship goes to Justin Lesser. Okay, students, if you can listen for your name and come to the right of the stage again for me. Jack Norton, Trevor Zach, Allison Lynn, Catherine Budway, James Howard, Andrew Gillis, Avery Lebowitz, Alyssa Hanlon, Andrew Kirchick, Kaylin Souza, Nora Giannakopoulos, Ava Bazan, Alexa Piazza, and and John Massiorelli, and Daphne Wu. Canton Firefighters Association Scholarship goes to Jack Norton. Trinity Episcopal Church Scholarship goes to Trevor Zack. Cornerstone of Canton Scholarship is presented to Allison Lynn. Ponkapog Grange 231 Scholarship goes to Kate Budway. The Duggan Scholarship goes to James Howard. Canton Little League Ricky Shannon Memorial Scholarship goes to Andrew Gillis. The CEA Future Educator Scholarship goes to Avery Lebowitz. Canton Art Association Margaret Duty Award goes to Alyssa Hanlon. The Honeydew Scholarship goes to Andrew Kirchick. The American Legion Auxiliary Scholarship, Canton Firefighters Association Scholarship, Sons of the American Legion Edward Beatty Post 24, Trinity Episcopal Church Scholarship, and Canton Alliance Against Substance Abuse Scholarships are presented to Kaylin Souza. The William Armando Memorial Scholarship and the Gray Gray Scholarship are presented to Nora Giannakopoulos. The Canton High School Scholarship and the American Red Cross Scholarship are presented to Ava Bazin. The American Red Cross Scholarship is presented to Alexa Piazza. The Spirit of 76 Scholarship is presented to John Masciarelli. The Spirit of 76 Scholarship is presented to Daphne Bui. Okay, students, if you can listen for your name and come over to the right of the stage. Marissa Brooks. Oh. That's it? Just kidding. We went through them all. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations. That's okay. I was like, oh, there's envelopes left.
Did she not? said last